The babysitter we trusted for 6 years texted, "Check the cloud storage on your home computer. Your husband has been recording the kids and selling the videos." I was sitting in my car in the parking lot of my accounting firm when the text came through from Natalie. She'd been our babysitter since our oldest son was 2, had watched all 3 of our kids grow up, had eaten dinner at our table hundreds of times. The text made no sense. I read it 3 times trying to find an interpretation that wasn't horrifying, that wasn't suggesting my husband Michael had been exploiting our children, but the words didn't change. I called Natalie immediately and she answered on the first ring, her voice shaking. "I'm so sorry. I should have told you sooner. I didn't know what to do." I asked her what she was talking about, what she'd found, and she took a breath that sounded painful. She explained she'd been using our home computer that morning to print her college application essays while Michael was at the gym and the kids were at school. She'd opened the wrong folder by accident and found videos, hundreds of them. Our children bathing, changing clothes, sleeping, being filmed through angles that made it clear the recordings were deliberate and hidden. Natalie had clicked through several files before she understood what she was seeing. The videos were organized in folders by child and by activity. There were pricing documents, transaction records showing payments received through cryptocurrency accounts, customer usernames, and delivery confirmations. Michael had been running a child exploitation business from our home computer, monetizing our children's privacy and bodies for buyers who wanted illegal content. Natalie's voice cracked as she explained she'd spent the past hour trying to decide whether this was something she was misunderstanding, whether there was any innocent explanation. But the folder names were explicit. The transaction amounts were significant. The customer communications were clear about what was being purchased. There was no misunderstanding possible. Michael had been selling videos of our kids to predators for years, and Natalie had just discovered the evidence. I felt physically sick, my vision tunneling as I tried to process what Natalie was telling me. I asked if she'd told anyone else, and she said no, that she'd texted me immediately after seeing the files. I told her to leave our house now, to not touch anything else on the computer, to go somewhere safe and wait for me to call her back. I sat in my car for 5 minutes trying to organize my thoughts and failing. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone. Michael was home right now, probably returned from the gym, unaware that Natalie had found the evidence. Our kids were at school. I was 15 minutes from home. I needed to see the computer myself before I did anything else. Needed to verify what Natalie had described because my brain was rejecting the possibility that my husband of 12 years, the father of my children, could be a predator. I drove home on autopilot, barely registering traffic or stoplights. Michael's car was in the driveway. I walked through the front door and found him in the kitchen making lunch, looking completely normal in his gym clothes, hair damp from the shower, humming something while he made a protein shake. He smiled when he saw me and asked why I was home early. I told him I wasn't feeling well and needed to check something on the computer. Michael's smile faltered slightly and he asked what I needed to check. I said work files and walked toward our home office before he could ask more questions. The computer was still on, exactly as Natalie had left it. The folders were there, exactly as she'd described. I clicked through files with mounting horror, seeing my 8-year-old daughter Emma in the bathtub, seeing my 6-year-old son Lucas getting dressed in his bedroom, seeing my 10-year-old son Caleb sleeping in bed, all filmed from angles that showed Michael had positioned cameras in places we'd never noticed. Bathroom exhaust fans, bedroom smoke detectors, stuffed animals on shelves. He'd been systematic and patient, building a content library that he'd cataloged and priced. The transaction records went back 4 years, hundreds of sales, tens of thousands of dollars in payments received. I opened customer communications and saw requests for specific activities. Buyers asking Michael to film the kids in particular situations or clothing. Michael responding professionally, negotiating prices, promising delivery dates. This wasn't impulsive or accidental. This was calculated exploitation of our children by their own father, sustained over years, hidden behind normal family life. I heard Michael's footsteps on the stairs and closed the folders. He appeared in the office doorway asking if I'd found what I needed. What I did next changed everything. To see the full story, click the link below or go on my channel.